In this module, we'll discuss the steps you need to prepare the source email system for migration. For this course, we'll use On-Premises Exchange 2010, but note that other versions of On-Premises Exchange behave similarly. In any case, we recommend that you refer to the additional resources of this module for version-specific documentation. You'll see PowerShell commands in this video, and these commands are also listed in the additional resource section at the bottom of each module page. This is so you can easily copy and paste them to your own email system. Let's get started. To prepare an on-premises Exchange system for migration, complete each of these steps. Configure an administrator account for the migration. Grant access for all mailboxes to the administrator account. Create an Exchange policy that removes throttling for the administrator account. And verify accessibility of the administrator account using Exchange Web Services, that's EWS for short. We will perform each of these steps during this module. First, let's configure an administrator account for the migration. The administrator account that you create will be added to MigrationWiz as an endpoint later in this course so that MigrationWiz can access the source email system and perform the migration of mailbox items to the destination email system. In this course, we'll give the account a name of MigrationWiz. To begin creating an administrator account, sign into the On-Premises Exchange server and open the Exchange Management Console. Expand the Recipient Configuration node and click Mailbox. In the Mailbox pane, right-click and select New Mailbox. In the Introduction screen, make sure that User Mailbox is selected and click Next. On the User Type screen, make sure that New User is selected and click Next. Enter MigrationWiz as the first name and the user logon name, and then select the appropriate domain name. Enter a password, confirm it, and then click Next. If there are multiple mailbox databases, select Specify the Mailbox Database, and then click Browse to select a specific database. Otherwise, click Next if the default database is the one you'd like to use for the administrator account. In the Archive Settings screen, leave the Don't Create an Archive option selected, and then click Next. Confirm the information for the new mailbox, and then click New. Once the wizard has created the new mailbox, click Finish. Next, you should define the SMTP email address for the mailbox you just created. Right-click the MigrationWiz account, and then select Properties. Click the Email Address tab, and then click Add. Enter the email address for the mailbox, and then click OK. Deselect Automatically Update Email Addresses, and then click the email address you just added. Click Set as Reply. Click OK again to close the MigrationWiz Mailbox Properties window. Now you need to grant the MigrationWiz Administrator account access to all mailboxes. This is required since the MigrationWiz Administrator account will use delegation and will be used to migrate mailbox items for all users in the source email system. To do this, open the Exchange Management shell, enter the commands shown on the screen, and then press Enter. The MigrationWiz parameter in the command should be replaced with the username that you entered for the administrator account that will be used for the migration. This command must be executed every time a new mailbox is created in the Exchange server. Otherwise, the MigrationWiz account will not have access to the new mailboxes created after the command was first executed. Now we will create an Exchange throttling policy that removes all throttling limits for the MigrationWiz administrator account you created. In the Exchange Management shell, type the command shown on the screen to create a new MigrationWiz throttling policy and press Enter. Now type the command shown on the screen to disable throttling limits for the MigrationWiz policy and press Enter. Type the command shown on the screen to associate the MigrationWiz policy to the MigrationWiz administrator account you created and press Enter. Now that everything for the MigrationWiz administrator account has been configured on the On-Premises Exchange server, let's verify accessibility of the MigrationWiz administrator account using Exchange Web Services. That's EWS for short. On a different computer than the On-Premises Exchange server, open an internet browser and navigate to the web address shown on the screen. Select Service Account Access, and then click Next. Enter all the required information on the screen. Select Ignore Trust for SSL and the disclaimer below it. Enter the CAPTCHA code and click Verify. Click Perform Test when ready. EWS accessibility is verified if you see results similar to the ones shown on the screen. You have finished preparing the On-Premises Exchange 2010 email system for migration. You have completed this module. Take a moment to perform the lab exercise, move through the knowledge check, and review the additional resources for this module before continuing to the next module.